Hi, welcome to our new session. In today's session, we will discuss the macros in Microsoft Excel. Macros are the short set of instructions that are used to perform predefined tasks. We can use these macros created in one spreadsheet program within another spreadsheet program, and how these macros are created and used in other workbooks and spreadsheet program we will discuss in today's session. So let's start creating a new spreadsheet file by clicking on the Microsoft Excel. The Microsoft Excel is launched successfully. Click on the blank template. Here, before creating macros, we will have to add a tab of developer here. Here we can see the multiple tabs are available in the menu ribbon, but the required tab is not available because it is not frequently used tab in Microsoft Excel. For this purpose, first of all, we would have to include the developer tab by just clicking on the customize ribbon. We will have to right click on any option in the menu ribbon and select the second one, that is the customized, second last, that is customized the ribbon. The customized ribbon dialog box will appear here. Here are the lot of options regarding with the configuration of Microsoft Excel, but our concern is only about to add the developer tab, developer option, developer menu in the menu ribbon of Microsoft Excel. Here we can see that the developer menu is unchecked. All other are checked, but the developer is by default unchecked whenever we install the Microsoft Excel, because this is already, I have told you, because this is not frequently used menu or option. Just check mark this option and press OK. Okay, now we can see that the developer option or menu is included in our menu list. So let's start by clicking on the developer option. After clicking on the developer option, we can observe a number of items or tools are available in the developer menu. These tools, all tools are much more important and have a worthy weight in the creation or customization or the automation or the chaining of the task in Microsoft Excel programmatically. These all tools are bound or grouped, named as the developer, so that it is clear that these tools are used for the writing program instructions that will be embedded in Microsoft Excel. So let's start without wasting any time. We have an option or tool is available here that is called code group. Here are the some tools that we'll discuss later on. I will have to provide you a quick glance about these tools. First tool is about Visual Basic. Our next session is about Visual Basic applications that you must have to see, that you must have to learn about Visual Basic for application used in Microsoft Excel. So please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so the latest update will be highlighted or thrown to your news feed. Okay, the second one option is the macro. We will today discuss about the macros. What are the macros? Macros are the set of instructions that are recorded in Microsoft Excel. There is the option to record the macro. Here we can see the top option is record the macro. Use relative references and macro security will be also discussed in the VBA lecture later on. Okay, so let's begin by clicking on the record macro. In routine, I have already told you, we do not chain our task, we do not automate our task in Microsoft Excel. So that let's suppose we are going to insert some values. I am inserting here some random values. You can see that there are the random values, and after inserting these random values, we are going to insert a chart of these values. We can do any kind of manipulation, implementation, formatting, sorting, filtration, any other operations, applying formula. We can do anything that can be referred to as the performance of the task, that can be referred to as the instruction to Microsoft Excel, that can be referred to as an action that is performed in Microsoft Excel. We can also record these options to perform later on any other spreadsheet program. Okay, I am again using the developer tab for the recording of macro in Microsoft Excel. First of all, we will have to select the developer tab. Then in next step, we will have to click on record macro. Sorry for that. Okay, I am again clearing or deleting these values. Now starting from here, I will have to zoom that. Starting from here, record a macro, I am clicking on record a macro. We will have to provide the macro. We can also provide the shortcut key. Just we can use here the alphabet. We can record this macro for this workbook, or we can also record this macro for the each and every new workbook. We can also provide here some kind of description regarding with macro. What is the purpose of this macro? By default, this macro will be incremented. The name of macro will be incremented by macro 1, macro 2, etc. I am for the time being going it with the macro 1. This macro is started recording. We can see here this macro is started recording. This will not record the screen. Just clear that at this point the macro will not record the screen. This macro recording will record the operations or actions that will be performed in Microsoft Excel. So start performing any kind of action. I am going to type here some random values in the B1, B2, B3 and C1, C2, C3. These are the some random values. You can also use the real world scenario values such as subjects and marks, ledgers, accounts, balance sheets, and your precise data, your described or defined data for this recording of macro. I am using the dummy data. After insertion of this data, I am going to perform certain other operations that will be part of our macro, because macro is going to be recorded. I am going to the insert tab, and from here I want to insert a particular type of chart. I am going to insert the pie chart. This pie chart is inserted here successfully for these 4 values. We can see here these 4 values. Chart of pie chart is inserted successfully. This is not the precise chart. I am only talking about, this is not session about how we can embed charts or how we can use charts in Microsoft Excel, what are the titles and what are the legends. I am only talking about the series of action, chaining of the task and recording of macro. We can see here the macro record each and every action that is performed in Microsoft Excel. After that, we will have to just click on stop recording. When we have performed entire task that will be the part of macro 1, we are just clicking on the stop recording. Okay, now we can observe either our macro has recorded the each and entire task or not. I am again by deleting this entire values and content from this spreadsheet, I will go to the macro tab, macro button or tool. I am going to the macro tool. This macro tool is the second one option here. I will just click on this macro button. Here is the recorded list of recorded macros. There will be the list of recorded macros that are recorded by us. There will be the list. After selection from the list, we can click on run, or we can also edit this macro, we can delete this macro, we can also use the step info for this. I am just clicking the run option. After clicking the run macro, we can see here the entire tasks are performed successfully by the Microsoft Excel macro automatically. This is called automation or changing the task. I am again deleting the entire data. We will again look or how macros are executed. Just go to the macro tool, select here macro. There may be a number of macros that are recorded by you for the particular workbook. Click on run option. The macro will be run and the task will be performed automatically. This is not only the feature to record a macro and delete the data and again run macros to perform the similar task again and again, but the particular aspect of recording the macros is to save these macros as a modules and embed or import these macros to other workbooks that may be useful. Okay, now we are going to learn about how we can record, how we can export these macros and import these macros in another worksheet or workbook. So let's start by exporting this macro. For export of this macro, we will have to use the, first of all, we will have to click on the view code option. Here is the view code option menu or tool is available in developer menu. Okay, click on this view code option. I am clicking on this view code. This view code option will automatically open a Visual Basic for application. This is VBA. In next session we will discuss VBA in detail, what is its purpose, which are the objects or fundamental implementations of this VBA. Here we can observe that one module is added. This is the workbook object. These are the VBA project Microsoft Excel object. These are the modules, two objects. If we insert one extra sheet in a Microsoft workbook, we can see here the objects will be also shown here. I am going to insert a new worksheet here. Then we will again go to the view code option. Here we can see that two worksheets are available in this workbook. These are the Microsoft Excel objects, in which one is workbook and two are the worksheet. The new thing that is included using the developer option, this is called module. Module contains the macros that are recorded in Microsoft Excel. So take a look on this module, what it contains. Double click on the module. Here we can see that the macro code or set of instructions are written in this module. This is the first one is called sub or sub procedure or sub routine. We can observe that this first line is the macro name. This is macro 1. These are the code, or this is the data that we have embed in cells. After clicking on the record macro option, this is the entire same values that are recorded in the form of set of instructions can be used in another worksheet or workbook. Okay, how we can export this macro for later use? Just click on, I have to zoom this option, just click on file. We have to click on file and then export option. We can also press the Ctrl+E command for the export of macro. Click on export. This will export the macros by the name of module 1. This extension was .bas. Okay, I am going to save this on desktop using the default name macro 1. Okay, this is exported to the desktop. Now I am going to quit the Microsoft Excel as well as VBA, Visual Basic for application. We can see here the module is saved on the desktop. This is the Microsoft VBA application module, or we can say that this is the macro module that we have exported on the desktop. Now what is the next step? Next step is to use the same macro in another or new workbook or workbooks. So let's create a new workbook using the new option. Here is a Microsoft worksheet. Okay, double click on this worksheet, will be opened. Now in this new blank worksheet, I have not performed even a single task or operation. I will what is the procedure that I can embed or use the worksheet in this, use the macros or recorded macros in this worksheet? We have to just go to the developer option. After clicking on the developer menu, we will go to the view code. In the same way as in before, we have to go to the view code. In view code, we can observe that here is no single module file is inserted here or showing here in the VBA, Visual Basic for application. Why? Because we have still no recorded macro for this worksheet. We will go to the file menu in the similar way as the previous for the exporting of the module. This is for importing of file or importing the module, and file may be a module or class. Okay, Ctrl+M can be used or using import file. I am going to import using the menu. This is the desktop and here is the module 1. Just click on module 1, double click on that or click and select on OK. This module is loaded here successfully. We can observe that this module is now a part of this workbook that contain only a single worksheet. Here is not the two worksheets, because by default worksheet is amount quantity is 1. Okay, after that I am going to double click on this one. This is the recorded set of instructions that are the part of module we have already exported. This is the toggle button. We can toggle between VB application and Microsoft Excel. Okay, click on this toggle button. Now what is the next step? I am going to the macros, as similar before we have done in the previous worksheet. Here is the list of macros that are recorded from VBA, Visual Basic for application. We can see here the macro 1 is its name, and there is. Then just click on the run option. We can see that the entire operations or tasks that are specified in previous Microsoft Excel macros are also performed in the similar way and in the similar sequence in this workbook or worksheet. I am going again to perform these tasks again and again to show you how the persistency of performing the sequence of tasks in Microsoft Excel using the macros. Okay, click on this and click on run option. The entire task will be performed here. Okay, I have to zoom this in. Okay, I think today's session was a much more fruitful and helpful in understanding of the macros and how macros are recorded, how macros are performed, how macros are used to perform multiple tasks. We can also chain different tasks using the macros in Microsoft Excel. If you like today's session, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Also comment on comment section if you have any question regarding with the macros. Thanks.